Dori dori no iro tashi ga tsumuku hono no rasa ne Hatashi nakusu teku haruka kara uketsuida hikari Sora ga ochita ano hi minishita no wa I should probably stop right there. Hello, welcome to another edition of GWC Plays. And this is a interesting one to say the least because this is the second time I'm playing this game. This is the first return to a game I played for this series. And this is for a special occasion. So, a new DLC just dropped this week. We have Hero from Dragon Quest now in the game. A character I was very, very excited to see. Maybe just me. I feel like everyone in the West when that announcement happened was just like, oh, who cares about Hero? I was like, but I do. But regardless, Hero is in the game, and boy, there's a lot of controversy. He might be the most controversial character in this entire series, but we're gonna get to that and much more. So there's a reason. You might explain, wait, why is the game in Japanese? And I think it's better to just maybe go into training real quick before we get into the main thing, to kind of show off why I'm doing this. Okay, let me see if I can actually figure out where training is. I can't read Japanese, and as evidenced by that intro, definitely can't speak it either. So there's a lot of quirks to Hero, and there's something especially that changing the language adds a whole other dynamic to his character and difficulty. So, like I said, Hero is a very controversial fighter because he's just overall really good. Like his regular just sword attacks, they have critical, they're really good. His base level magic spells do ridiculous damage, and he's just overall is really good. Just on that alone, he's a good fighter. But then you get this menu right here, his command menu of magic. And this is where his character breaks open because there's so many just different things to it that destroy. And it's such a crazy character. There's so many things you can do with him. The example I've used is he's like a souped up version of Shulk. Like on crack. It's like, oh, well, Shulk can use Buster and Speed. Well, I can do that too. I can also bounce magic spells. I can also heal myself. I can also raise my attack. And all this other stuff. It's just ridiculous how much you can do with him. You can play him so many different ways. And my challenge, and kind of what I was thinking of, I was talking with people when this character came out, I was like, you can really make this character harder. Just pick a language you don't know and play him. There you go. There's the challenge. I don't know how to speak Japanese. I don't know how to read it. So for me, this character, you can kind of get by, but it's like, ooh, if you don't know what you're picking, because there are some moves. I don't know if I'll get it. There's a certain move he has called Kamikaze that'll straight up just kill you as a one-hit kill. So it's like that right there. It's like, well, you wouldn't want that. Okay, that's Magic Burst. So the one good thing is, if I was trying to actually learn how to read and figure out the symbols and that, this will probably be good because I can just memorize. Oh, the short one with the 2 is this, and this is that. Okay, so the one. Okay, so that's probably, I think that's bang. But you get the idea. Just that changing it up and playing exclusively in a different language makes this very difficult. Okay, how do I leave? There you go. I haven't been in training too much. It's throwing me off. See, I'm already kind of screwing up. I haven't even gotten to it. I don't know how well it'll work. Either I do very well with Hero when I get lucky and don't get any of the crazy spells, or I do. And you know, really, the other way to just combat this, just don't use magic. If I just didn't use magic here, like, it wouldn't even matter. Like, oh, well, I'm good. Actually, I kind of want to see Gano peering for Jigglypuff. Black Pit. Let's see, Pokemon Train. Rosetta and Chico. Monobito. Reflex. Kamui. Packin' Flex. Alright. Enough joking around. I think if I was Joker, that would have been a bad segue. But alright. Here you go. I've not played it yet, so this will be my first time doing its classic mode. Now let's stick it. Yeah, in this first few battles, I'll kind of... Oh, man. My character. My main, which, as a given update, since that first video I did for Smash Ultimate back when it released, when I gave my launch day, like, hour coverage of it, Kirby is still my main. And, you know, King K. Rool, I did say he's gonna be my main character. He's about my third or so. The ranking list of my tier, like, for characters I play and I really take serious, is Kirby, Yoshi. Trying to focus that. Kirby, Yoshi, Young Link, no, King K. Rool, and Young Link. So switch those two around. And I really want to main Hero. You know, I've been having a lot of fun with Hero. Hero so far has been the most fun character in a bit in this game, just because it changes up so much. But the thing I've been telling people is, like, man, I really want to get good with Hero, but I feel by the time I get good, they're gonna ban him on a tournament, and I'm just gonna be like, oh, damn it. Which that will lead to that talking point now about this, because there have been a lot of talks since that first reveal, when not when they announced him, but when they did the gameplay demo a few days ago, the day he was released, like 20 minutes after that presentation, I saw, oh nice, I saw so many, like, just tweets and different things. People were upset. People were wanting him banned. People set a petition up, like, on Twitter, saying he needs to be banned. He is not fit for this game. And there's been this back and forth of just war on Twitter and just Smash boards and everything, of people either going back and forth of, oh, he should be legal, he shouldn't, these are the reasons why, and it's a whole messy situation. And honestly, I'm kind of in the middle of both sides for this, because on one hand, for like tournament play, I'm like, you know what, he has enough weaknesses that I could see it like that factoring into things. Oh damn, I got destroyed. But he has enough weaknesses, I guess, kind of going into, like, with the magic, where, like, when you use the magic, you pause and you can't really move in that. And definitely in matchups where you're going against somebody who's more fast than your face, and you don't really have that time to kind of use the magic like that, that's where it gets a little, like, dicey there. So, like, he does have some disadvantages there. Like, I think just in a one-on-one and you're against a fast character, it's a little harder to use them. And you can't really rely on that magic too much, because you have to really be, like, right there on it, what you want. And also just with how fast the magic, like, with the random aspect of the magic itself, and that you never know what you're gonna get. Like, it's very kind of inconsistent, and especially for a tournament, you might not want a character who could be inconsistent. And going on to the side of why he was getting banned, that was the perfect example right there. Because there are some moves he has that can take a character out at low percentage. I took my friend out with him at 6%. I got taken out at 0%. And there's just so many different things with this character where it's like, ooh, I could just see him getting banned. So I'm not sure right now. Either he gets banned or he doesn't. Would it suck if he got banned? Yeah. Would I be mad if he did? Like, I can kind of understand why from like a tournament perspective. Why? Like could you imagine if you're in a tournament and like the pot is like $12,000 and the match is going good and a hero randomly gets like a hocus pocus that gives him like the invincibility star, or he whacks you with whack and you die at like 2% and that's the game end? Like, people would be very upset. I probably would be too. Because it adds a whole different equation to the game. But he's been very fun to play. I've gotten a few hours under the belt with him. Like the first night, I probably got like 4 hours of play in with him. And I think the thing is, when you, especially in a match, like the kind of fun matchup with hero is definitely playing with other heroes. If the match is consistent of just all people playing heroes, it's cool. Then everybody is kind of having to deal with their own menu, and you're kind of on an equal field. When it's like your hero and you're against somebody who's super fast, then that matchup's not as good. But the times when it is good are when you're in a match with somebody who is a projectile spammer and will just zone the entire match. Then it's perfect using him. Like, that happened online. Because I did want to at least try and the online tourney mode, which was something they did reveal along with a hero being released. And they also actually, sorry if I'm losing train of thought. I'm trying to focus on the game and that and have like the conversation. But I did get a few online matches with him. It's pretty good. Like when you get to that character who is just a pure spam person. It's beautiful. Well, that's not beautiful there. Cause like getting online with like Pichus who are just spamming that, or a Lucas who's spamming the same PK freeze and all this, like just being able to just not have to worry about that with that bounce move. It's a thing of beauty. The one thing I will respect with this, because a lot of people I've been talking to, they've been like, man, why did they make him so good? Like in that case, it's like I'm not sure. I couldn't answer. I was like, well, I don't know. I didn't make the game, but I did appreciate that they put so much love into this character, because my fear when he was first revealed was that, oh, they're just gonna make him another kind of standard sword user with like maybe a few little spots of the magic from the games. But then when they actually show him off and they're like, oh, he has the highest moveset of any character in the game, and you see every spell in the game is from the actual series, and like it was kind of like a really just cool nod. Like I was really happy to see that, and being able to explain some stuff to people like, oh, what's this move? It's like, oh, well, you see in the series. Like I don't mean to go on to another different topic altogether, but I'm very happy to be a Dragon Quest fan right about now, just because it's gotten all this huge buzz now in the West. So you have 11 coming out in September. You have this character in a huge franchise. I guess like it's cool. Like hopefully this isn't the end of like Dragon Quest games getting localized, because I remember when 10 came out and 10 was like, oh, we're staying in Japan. We're not bringing this game out to the West ever. I was really sad. I was like, that sucks. I really wanted to play 11. They were like, oh, well, too bad. And if you try and even use a VPN to get across, we're gonna find you and ban you there. Like, they made it so hard to play that game. I never got to play it. And I thought, oh, I guess this is the end for Dragon Quest out in the West. So when we finally saw 11 coming, it's like, oh, 11 is coming to the West. Oh, it's getting more features than Japan. Oh, it's the first Dragon Quest game to ever have voice acting. It was just pretty awesome. And now that 11's coming to the Switch, and it's having even more features and all this stuff, and there have been a lot of people who are like, you know what, I might actually pick up this game and try it. I've been very happy to hear that. The Dragon Quest, like, it's huge in Japan. It's like an understatement how huge that game is. But out here is definitely a Final Fantasy like area. Like, everyone is more Final Fantasy than Dragon Quest, which I can understand because a lot of these games were not ever ported out here. But man, they are some very fun RPGs if you do get them. Like, Dragon Quest VIII is a timeless classic to me. That game is, for PS2, it's pretty amazing. And 11 is actually really great too. It was probably one of my top games of last year. So if you are kind of hesitant out there, I would say give Dragon Quest 11 a try. Like, if you've never played one, like, that's a good, I'd say, starting point. Cause, like, you know what, the stories don't all like, they all like intertwine. They're all like just their own story. And there's some like lore and different like mythos stuff that you might not know, but you can easily just look that up on the wiki or anything. But yeah, it's a good time to be a Dragon Quest fan. Oh. See, this is what I was talking about. You have bounce. It changes everything. You can clean your clothes, and you can project those items. See what I mean? Look how good that is. Like, look how strong that was. It wasn't even that far in. Oh, that's pretty cool. And one thing I should also mention too is I'm pretty surprised they got more Dragon Quest music in this game, because originally it was just gonna be one song, and I was like, you know what, I'm surprised they even got one song. If you aren't familiar, the composer of Dragon Quest, who mind you is a great composer, is extremely stingy with his music and the licensing rights. So if you've ever played any of the Dragon Quest games, at least the earlier ones, those ones were on MIDIs, which makes sense because of like the sound chips and everything like that. But when they moved to like PS2 and you have Dragon Quest VIII, they were still MIDIs. And the reason why is that the composer is like, oh no, I'm not giving you the rights to use my orchestrated music that's so beautiful. No, you need to put in the MIDIs, and I have the orchestra CD, so you buy it, which for a business sense I understand. But it's just like, he never let any of them use orchestra. And the one game in the series that actually got to use it was Dragon Quest VIII in the West. I don't know how they did it, but for that version of the game, I guess they went behind his back, and they just straight up used the that's ridiculous. That move was so good. They used the orchestrated versions, getting back to the story. They used the orchestrated versions he was selling on CD, and I didn't know any better until I heard it on YouTube. I was like, what's this MIDI version? And I was like, oh, this is the original. And it just kept going on. Apparently he was like really peeved about that. And for every Dragon Quest game after that, with 9 on DS, it was the same thing. MIDI tracks, if you want the orchestra, you gotta buy the CD. And then when it came to 11, the same. Wait. Oh my. Oh, they're playing my theme for Dragon Quest VIII. God, I can't understand how good that game is and how good the music is. That music is like 10 out of 10. It's such a perfect RPG soundtrack. But continuing my story, so I'm going off on tangents. But when it came time to 11, it was the same thing again of we're only providing the MIDI tracks. And if you want the orchestra ones, you have to buy the CD. Now, this was the first Dragon Quest game that came to PC. And you already know PC modders. You tell them, oh, we're not going to let you do something. They're going to find a way around it. And like literally 2 days after the game came out, there was a mod to add the orchestra soundtrack, which unfortunately got taken down because they were like, even mods, no, you can't do that. And the website that was hosting it took it down as well. So when it came to like, oh, Dragon Quest XI's on the Switch. Oh yeah, we're going to put the orchestra ones on there. It was just an incredible feeling. Like, I feel like I was more excited about that than most people were. Everyone was like, oh, it's got orchestra sounds. Like, that's not a big deal. It's like, it kind of is. For them to actually be able to put the orchestra version in officially on a version is crazy news. It's kind of nuts. And I'm double dipping. Like, I played a lot of Dragon Quest XI. That game's super long. But I'll get a definitive edition, even though it's going to be even longer. But I'm down to double dip, and RPGs on the Switch are just perfect. Perfect pick up play a few matches, level up, grind, like it's perfect. This episode really went in a lot of different directions. Remember that challenge? Because I didn't see, in my head I was expecting, oh, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna blow up, it's gonna go crazy, and you know, none of that happened. So I'm sorry on that hand. Well, actually, I did die, but it wasn't even from my own incompetence. It was from me not being focused. Ooh, that's got that theme song. All right, well, you know what? I think that's gonna be it for me here. Yeah, I know, it's kind of a weird, lackluster type of episode. But, you know, I just kind of wanted to play Hero and kind of talk about it a little more in depth about some stuff. And I figured, no, maybe if I do a little challenge, it'd be fun. But it didn't work out as well as I planned. Maybe if I went online, it probably would have been a little different. But I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. So that's going to be it for me here. I don't want to take too much more time. So that's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching. Until next week, I'm John. Gamingwithclass. Heroes too good.